gon' make it disappear like a ZKZX. Like a ZKZX. I gon' make it disappear like a ZKZX. Like a ZKZX. I'm on post making LPs just to print a check. Got a bag of post die just to make a flex. Bridge them with Sparkswap, cause that shit up next. Got my gang phone, you can call me through the chain. Call me through the chain. You wanna reach me, call me on the chain. Call me on the chain. I got a drop on daddy, feature going steady. Got my E-hex and my ledger going crazy. Earning all this ink every day, I'm claiming daily. Trailer park boys, and you know we going crazy. I gon' make it disappear like a ZKZX. Like a ZKZX. I gon' make it disappear like a ZKZX. Like a ZKZX. I gon' make it disappear like a ZKZX. Like a ZKZX. I gon' make it disappear like a ZKZX. Like a ZKZX.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to EMP.Money. My name is AJ, I am the team lead here, and this is our live AMA. We come to you every Monday and Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. Brand new intro video by DeFi Proof. A lot of you may remember him. Usually we have an intro from the one and only Cool Sheet. He's working on a few others now as well, but DeFi Proof did our original EMP AMA intro. So shout out to him. Awesome little shout out in his Pulse song. Go show him some love. Again, DeFi Proof on YouTube. We have a very jam-packed episode today with a special guest AMA, as well as an overview of our protocol, updates, and news, and some bullish information about Pulse. But before we get into all that, please let me introduce my co-host with the most and fellow team member, LA. LA, how are you?
Hey guys, what's up?
Hey, another awesome day ahead of us. We will get into all of it now. But before we get into our own updates, we are going to do a special guest AMA with a brand new protocol launching by one of a OG community member in the space. And let me go ahead and bring him on the stage now. Kirk, how are you, brother? Are you there?
I am back. It's old home week.
Yes.
I got DeFi Proof on the jams. I got me. It's the old school.
It is, brother. I love it. Yeah, it's just like the original days for sure, brother. So those that don't know, Kirk is a longtime supporter of our ecosystem. He helped out incredibly with our EMP Academy in the very beginning, and Kirk went on to start his own protocol called Speakeasy, and their drinks token is kind of ran its course, but there's a whole new protocol or subsidiary, I guess, of the Speakeasy conglomerate that we want to talk about today, right, Kirk?
Yeah, we do. I really appreciate you giving me the time to come on and talk to everybody about it.
For sure, brother. Awesome, bro. Well, I'll let you share your screen, and then I'll pull it up on YouTube. And yeah, I mean, I guess we can just kind of start. Why it matters is that one of your largest investments is in our ecosystem, right? I mean, we can start off by that, giving people why it matters. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, why is this guy in here chilling?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know you got a jam-packed episode, so I'll try to run through my deck here as fast as I can, and just give everybody a taste of what's going on. Most of the names here, at least on the Telegram side, are pretty familiar to me, so I think probably most of them know what's going on. But as AJ mentioned, we're almost coming up on a year now. I created a protocol called Speakeasy and then a token called Drinks, and while they are definitely running their courses, said they're still up and running and paying out people every week. So we, did pretty good, I think, making it a year. That's pretty, in DeFi terms, it's a long time.
For sure.
Yeah. So anyway, but as things were ramping down, I was looking at what I've learned and what I wanted to do next, and I really wanted to get involved in something that could be a more sustainable, not an ROI to happen. And I learned a lot from doing the Speakeasy project, and I knew I wanted elements of that in this. So it's taken me a little while to come up with this protocol called Bootleggers Run, which is a standalone project from Speakeasy, but obviously it all ties in together because it's all me. And so I just wanted to run through it real quickly and for you guys to see if anybody might be interested here, and then also give the payoff on how it ties in to Sparkswap primarily at this point anyway, although we will be looking at Fusion for sure. So basically what Bootleggers Run is it's a play to earn game, and it's all NFT based. There's no tokens involved whatsoever. And the way it works is this: this is the world of the Bootleggers Run, and there are 50 territories in the world on the map that you see there. And so basically this is the game is about, you're running within a territory, you're a bootlegger and you're running within the territory, and you have to pick a territory to run in. And the process of running is simply minting one of our run NFTs and holding on to it for a 30-day period of time. So that's what's called a run. So there are 4 different levels. As you may have noticed, the map is color-coded. And so there's 4 different levels. 4 is the entry level up to level 1. And so basically the way that it works for a player is you just come in and you'll mint one of these 4 NFTs, and this is the price points for them. So it starts at 75 USDT and goes up to 150. So you can have really multiple or an unlimited number of these, but these are the costs per. So you just come in, you mint this NFT. So the minute you mint it, that sets off a clock that's running for 30 days. And then you're basically earning at that point on that NFT. Now, within the first 21 days of the 30, you can choose whether or not you want to roll over the NFT at the end of that 30 days, which if you do, then you're just airdropped your reward only, or if you want to cash out. And if you want to cash out, then you get your principal back and your reward. So one of the things that was really important to me, and that I learned in my back room syndicate stuff, is even though you can have a successful syndicate or a program like this, sometimes it takes a really long time, especially in the market we're just coming out of. I have some successful ones that are in profit now, but it took 6 months plus to get there, right? So this gives you the flexibility. This gives you the flexibility and access to your funds that if you want out, you're never going to have to wait more than 30 days. So if you do decide to get out and cash out, then that NFT is burned. And so it only has utility within the game. It's basically just a utility NFT in that sense. So that's the basics of the game. And this is what we're starting out with in terms of payout. So you can see here that it basically goes from about 0.26 up to about 0.31 per day, but this is paid out in 30-day increments. So, it's a modest return. It's not super degen, but it's also very doable. We feel pretty comfortable with what we've got set up, that we can, make this happen and keep it sustainable for a longer period of time. So basically, you collect these funds, whether you just collect your rewards or you take the whole thing. Again, that's completely up to you. So basically, that's what you're looking at. So the monthly rates, again, as you can see here, go from about 8 to about 9.5, depending on what level you're in. So here's like an illustration of how this would work. If you wanted to put $1,000 into Bootleggers Run, that would be 6 level 1 runs, which are 150 each, so that's 900, and then 1 level 3, making the 1,000. And this would be your average 30-day return on that $1,000, and with still that principal being available for you to take out if you so desire, or you can roll it over and run off that same $1,000 as many times as you would like to, or sell some. You get the idea. So And then the spreadsheet there is showing that you can project this out and get basically double your money in 9 months. So in 9 runs, you get approximately 1,000 back on top of your principal, which again is not a sunk cost. So it's a pretty, it's pretty good. It's pretty conservative. I think we might be able to do better as time goes on, but we wanted to make sure that we were, putting out numbers there that we thought were really attainable. Now, there is some gameplay that goes into this, because you'll notice everywhere I'm saying average return, average 30-day return. Why is it an average? Why isn't it not just a fixed number? That's because there's a little bit of gameplay involved. And so what do I mean by that? Well, what happens is when you mint that running NFT, what happens the minute the NFT is minted as a function of the minting is it's run through this odds algorithm. And so there's a chance that you can earn more and bonus, and a chance you can earn less and get a penalty on the run. Now, you won't know that until the end of the 30-day run, but it's decided by the algorithm immediately, but it doesn't appear until you go to collect. So basically, the odds are very skewed in the favor of the runner in terms of getting a bonus, but there is a little bit of a chance. And again, these odds are not based on a volume, they're individual. So that's even better for the runner, meaning it's not like if we mint 100 NFTs, 5% of them have to be the full penalty. It's each one gets this rate. And again, we're only talking about rewards here, not your principal. So it just adds a little bit of gameplay, and also adds the ability for us to have some fun and do some other things in the future where we can sell NFTs that basically provide insurance against the negative outcomes and or bigger bonuses, things like that. So we'll be definitely introducing that kind of gameplay as we go along once we get everything up and running in the system. So that is the basics of how you play as a runner. So, but there's an entirely second level to Bootleggers Run, and that's a little bit more risk reward, a little bit more degen of a play, and that is going back to the very beginning. You're talking about these territories. You can own one of these territories, one of these 50 territories. Those are an NFT as well. And so when you purchase a territory NFT and become the owner of it, then you'll remember at the beginning I said everybody has to run in a territory. They have to pick a territory. And if you are the boss, if you're the owner of that territory, then you get a cut of every run that takes place in your territory. So that adds even another level to the game, where we have our territory bosses that will be incentivized to go out and bring players to run in their territories, because there's a financial incentive for them to do that. So we've got people out there saying cool things about the protocol that we might not otherwise have. So I'm excited to watch that go. And we've already got some territory bosses talking about perhaps taking a little cut of their cut and incentivizing people to come run by doing airdrops to people to run in their territory. So it should be fun once we get everything going and all of that. So there are some of these left. We've sold out of all the ones in the first 2 levels, but there are about 24 of them left in the bottom 2 levels. You can see the prices there are 300 USDT and 250 USDT. And that you need to think of as a sunk cost. That's more of an ROI game, like I said, than the other NFTs, because your principal, you can get that back. But with these, you're ROIing by bringing runners into your territory and earning off of their runs. Now, it doesn't have to be just people bringing in, because also as we're going out and talking about the protocol and bringing in people that don't know anybody that owns a territory, although they will, everybody listening to this will know an owner of a territory, because you own some territories.
100%. Yeah. Alpha alert, right, Kirk? We'll talk about that at the end. For sure, bro.
Yeah. So anyway, if a player comes in and they don't know anybody, they just heard about the protocol and want to play, they still have to pick a territory to run in. So the protocol just gives them a list of the available territories. And in fact, it gives them a list that's ordered in the territory with the fewest runners. So we can spread the wealth out across the territories. And so they just pick that. So if you're a territory boss, you'll start to see people show up that you don't know that are running in your territory just because they had to pick one. And we're going to be, as a protocol, that's what we're going to be helping to do, is to try to get all 50 of these territories sold and then help get runners into all these territories, so that everybody is earning all together. So basically, I did an illustration of what a player could do. And so this is the payout illustration for a territory boss. So if you have a level 1 territory, it's $3 per run for every run that happens in your territory. Now that's not runners, that's runs. So if you remember, like I showed you this illustration here, this person, $1,000 is 6 level 1s and 1 level 3. That's 7 runs, not 1 run because it's 1 person. So you would get, in that case, $21 at the end of that 30-day cycle for that person. So using an average, most of these come out to about 3.5 to 4 months ROI at about an 80% run rate. So you could do better, or it could take a little longer if you didn't have as many, but not crazy long time to earn back your ROI on the NFT. So these are the payouts at each level per run. So you can kind of get a sense of what that is all about. So you can basically build yourself a little business with the territory. If you want to go out and shill your own territory, that's great. We're not stopping anybody from doing whatever they want to do in terms of bringing people in and running. So with all that said, well, how are we paying for all of this? Is this Ponzi-nomics? Do we take, the deposits and pay the people in earlier? No. All of the rewards that we'll be paying out from in this game are rewards that are earned by yield farming. And I guess I missed this. By the way, the territory, I'll put a link in, but if you're interested in becoming a territory boss, you can get them on NF Trade right now. They're, like I said, it's like 24 left. And you can just go up and buy them right now, and you would be involved in the game as a boss. So revenues. The primary way that we're going to be earning revenues is through yield farming. And that's really important. And of course, also we're going to do a little bit, not at all like Speakeasy for those of you who were familiar with that and came in. We took more risks for sure in Speakeasy than we're going to here. And so just trusted protocols, stuff like Fusion. Once that's out and we can see what the best fit is for us, but primarily our funds are going into yield farming. Well, okay, what funds? Well, first of all, when I decided to do this, I put my money where my mouth was and took a fairly large position that I held in Sparkswap and another one in the Futopian universe, and just committed my rewards to get the treasury started. So I've been earning rewards and placing them into our treasury to start. And then every dollar that we earn off the sale of those territory NFTs also goes into our farming. So by the time we sell them all out, we'll have about $20,000 on hand that we'll be farming, just to start with, that we'll be farming, and that we, as a treasury, own the principal, because again, that's all sunk cost on those NFTs. So we'll start there, and then of course we have the principal amounts of all the runs as they come in, and there'll always be a certain percentage that want to take their principal back out, but there'll also be a percentage of people who want to roll over. So we'll have those funds to invest as well. So as it grows, it could become, a pretty sizable amount of money that we can put into farms. And now, again, the rules, I've set rules for myself, and that's like, I'm not doing ROI dApps or anything like that with this. We're trying to avoid that. Really nothing with a locked liquidity, because we want to make sure we have that capital on hand, to pay everybody out if they want to get out of the game. So we've started making money from this NFTs. We have my contribution. Where are we spending this money? And this is where Sparkswap comes into play, why I'm here pitching to you guys in the first place. So we do have a farming partner, which is Chris. Some of you may be familiar with him. He has a group called Passive Income Engines, and he's basically doing a similar kind of farming, but we decided to put a chunk with him just to get a diversity in farming protocols and approach to farming. He does things a little bit differently, so it's great. So plus he's been very supportive of my project, so I wanted to do the same. But we've also now opened with treasury funds. We've opened up our Sparkswap position as well as a position in DojoSwap, and now we just have opened up a position in DEX with the announcement you made the other day. And so that's where we're sitting today. We'll be building these 3 farms up, probably more before we would look at anything else. And so that is how we are earning to bring back into the protocol to pay the rewards. So there's no Ponzi-nomics to this. And, basically it scales. It doesn't matter if there's 10 people in the protocol or 10,000 people in the protocol, but we'll still be just taking the money and earning it the same way. So, so that's basically it. I know I went really fast, but I don't want to take up too much of your time here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, Kirk, I love it, man. Again, I think the concept is very straightforward. I mean, it's essentially, yield farming with the easy button. So, and obviously,
yeah, with some fun added into it.
Exactly, totally. And you have the track record. I mean, obviously, we have a relationship, and utilizing the positions in Spark, are beneficial to everybody. So more volume for us, more yield for you, and we're all super happy. So, all right, let me just go a little bit more into detail. I guess so. Number one, obviously we can't start running yet. Right now, it's about selling the territories, right? Is that the number one way to get involved at the moment? Okay.
Yeah, that's correct. Right now, the only thing you can do, because we're sort of in a pre-sale mode, getting ready for the launch, which is next week, is to, if you are interested in the boss program and want to try to do that, that's what's available now. Then that would be something that you could participate in now. But once we go live next week, then you can just run and just do that if you're not interested in trying to, create buzz around your territory or what have you. So you have either option. So yes, that's what's available at the moment. But then once the protocol goes live, and that is next Wednesday. And it's nice too, because, a lot of these protocols, it does not matter. The timing of this is not an issue, because it's not like, I got to get in on the first hour or the first day, because we're not going anywhere.
For sure.
And, we have the benefit of already having a treasury. Plus we'll be earning for the next 30 days before we ever pay out our first reward. Right. And there's really no incentive to get in early at all. So, but we will start next Wednesday, and people will be able to start to run. And I just wanted, to bring it to you guys, because, obviously we are bullish on all of the projects over here. And, you guys are already, heavily invested in your positions in Sparkswap. So you don't necessarily need this, but if you want to support another protocol that's also putting in funds into Sparkswap, even though you've already got your position set up, you could get a $75 or $100 run NFT, and let's let that roll for a little bit, knowing that money, a lot of that money is going into Sparkswap, or into the vault. So, that's the pitch, basically.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, and like you said, there's no token. It's money in, money out. Real yield, which is obviously what we promote and what we love in both EMP and Spark. Everything we do is real yield, or moving to real yield. So yeah, I think it's a win-win for everybody. And yeah, the other alpha was with the territories. Like Kirk had mentioned, the Treasury has quite a few territories now. So if you are
sorry, I stepped on your parade there.
No, brother, I love it. Yeah, totally. So we are, again, this is more a pre-sale announcement if you want to be a territory boss. But we'll have another update. I don't know if we'll do a whole other AMA, but we'll definitely do an update in Telegram and Discord, how to actually run in our specific territories. So
Yeah,
obviously,
I'll take
yeah.
care of that for you.
All right, awesome,
Yeah.
brother. That would be very helpful, not only to us, but to all of you. And we can give some incentives. Again, I'll probably do some Spark airdrops to those that
Cool.
are running in the territories. So yeah, and I guess maybe just go over that real quick, Kirk. Will you have like a UI on the website? Like, what does that look like for the actual owners?
Yeah, basically what it is, there is a rather sophisticated dashboard, user dashboard that will come with the website. We're going to try to launch the website a couple days before the actual run launch so that people can get in there. We're doing a bunch of videos, surprise, surprise,
Yeah,
to show people how to use it. But we're going to try to launch it a couple days in advance so people can get comfortable. But basically what happens is you mint the NFT, and then you just simply put in the unique ID of the NFT into your dashboard. It looks it up and then says, oh, okay, that is this level of an NFT. And then it just presents you a pull down list of available territories for that level. So you can just pick and choose. So what we'll do is, make sure that everybody knows what territories belong to EMP, and so that they can choose, those in particular. And so then once they're in, then that's another incentive, right? Besides just, helping out, like I was saying, if you're going to do stuff as a boss, that would be super cool. And, it's more of an incentive to do it. And I think it's going to be, I'm really excited to be able to, as we run this thing, people coming in going, well, how are you paying for this? That old Ponzi-nomics question. And I'll go, hey, in great measure, Sparkswap, go check it out.
Totally. Yeah.
So, not only be a part of our game, but, please go check out the protocol and consider getting involved. So, because I've just, had a great time with Sparkswap and have been very successful with it. I'm sure a lot of you have too, but I, have really been impressed with it. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. And again, that's the whole beauty of this. I mean, obviously anybody can farm, but when it's organized in an actual protocol, and that is the holy grail. When other protocols use your protocol, to help each other, and that's
absolutely. And
a
lot of it, yeah, absolutely. A lot of it too is, especially with Speakeasy and the people that came into that community. And I'm a big even believer in this. There's a lot of people that come into communities just like I did when I was lucky enough to find EMP, that don't know what they're doing. And they don't know an ROI DApp from a farm, from a whatever. And if they can find people in the space and protocols in the space that can help them, and to the point of even going, well, don't worry, I don't know anything about Pulse Chain, let alone farming on Pulse Chain. How would I do that? Well, you don't have to. You can if you want, obviously, but if you don't have the time or the patience for learning that kind of thing, this is one way you can get involved, and just buy an NFT and know that it's going into those types of farming projects. So we've had a lot of people really over in the Speakeasy community enjoy that aspect of what we've done with the back room, and so we're going to be closing the back room actually in favor of this. All the syndicates that are still running will still keep paying out, but we're not going to introduce any new ones. We're just going to focus on this and make this our main thing that we're doing. So.
Amazing, awesome, brother. All right, I mean that pretty much is the nuts and bolts. Again, and one last point I want to make too, which is pretty cool. Again, this is on BNB, not on Pulse. So, and Kirk just kind of mentioned that at the end. If you're on BNB or you're familiar with EMP, but you don't want to come over to Pulse, I don't know why you wouldn't, but you can that way. You can get exposure through this. And your funds, again, in Bootleggers, will be, again, bridged over using our bridge. So not only is it more volume to the protocol, but it's also more volume on the bridge, too. So, again,
it is.
Yeah,
and let me just tree off of that for a second.
Yeah, totally.
I love the bridge. I use that bridge probably at least 5 times a day.
Yes, brother.
And it's great. It runs great. I've never had a problem. I've never had an unusual long waiting period. I mean, it's just so solid, man, and just makes it so easy. So I just really appreciate that. And so, yeah, I just want to do my little part to help promote that while I'm doing my own thing.
Awesome, brother. All right, well, there you have it, everybody. Bootleggers
Amazing.
run, and yeah, get a territory if you're interested. If not, just wait for the main launch next week, right? And where do they find you, Kirk? I guess end with that. How do your Telegram?
Yeah, I saw that Vino just put up our Telegram in the chat, so you can get us there. We don't have anything else quite yet. Soon, but you can go there and you'll see when the website's going to be up and running and all that good stuff. So that's the main way to get us.
All right, awesome. LA, was there anything else you saw in the chat or anything we need to cover before we wrap it up?
Nope.
All right, awesome.
Boom.
All right.
Love it.
Yes. All right, Kirk, thanks for being here, brother. And yeah, we will start running next week, and we'll have an update on how to do that as well. So.
Amazing. Thank you so much, my friend.
All right, you got it, brother. We'll talk soon.
Okay. Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. All right, everybody, hang out. We're going to start our own AMA now. We have a lot to cover of our own. Let me go ahead and pull up my notes. Before we do that, again, I forgot to mention it at the beginning. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. That really helps the algorithm. LA, anything you want to start off with while I get our notes going?
Oh man, you put me on the spot here.
Uh-oh. All right. All right, no worries. Give me one more second. I almost have it.
Yeah, if you guys didn't catch the AMA earlier, it was a good one. So definitely go back and check it out. It's pinned in all of our groups. But yeah, we'll cover that in a little bit here.
Yeah, no doubt. So we had a super busy day. I got my notes now. And yeah, we had an AMA. We'll talk about that in a second, but we got to talk about the elephant in the room right now, and that is the market overall. My God, the market's been on fire. And not only that, we're seeing, almost an all-time high in Bitcoin. We touched it, or at least got super close on some of the dexes and sexes. But we're almost there, and I can't even begin to imagine a new all-time high before the halvening. I mean, it's unheard of. Which either means, we're getting hot early, and we see a cool off before the real bull run where we do, have extended all-time highs, or we just keep going from here and we have an extended super cycle where, we can have a bull run until 2026. So both of those scenarios are amazing. Again, I do think, obviously we're going to see some sort of pullback, but who knows? I mean, we're in uncharted territory now. I mean, the ETF, I think, is really having, its effect now after the buy the rumor, sell the news. Just a lot of money inflowing, and, retail is starting to continue to pour in. So things are looking great. ETH is also on fire. Again, almost at one point almost back to $4,000 ETH, which again that would put EMP at a $1 peg value, which again is about a 10x from here for those that are building their fusion bags. I don't know what else to even tell you in terms of potential there. So, and then last but not least, which has been literally a few hours before the stream tonight, we have confirmation that one of the OA wallets, the original sacrifice wallets that Richard may or may not own, that's left to be decided, but it has bridged over about $20 million back into Pulse and has started buying Pulse, PulseX, and Hex. So that is really bullish for the Pulse ecosystem. We've seen numbers up, we're up about 15% over the last, few hours alone. And, that doesn't mean that Richard or whoever, whatever, unidentified whale, has to spend all 20 million. The fact that he even spent this and created, the hype that he is going to now support the token price, that allows people to pile in on their own. So we could see literally hundreds of millions coming into Pulse. Knowing now that it does look like on chain, at least somebody, whether it's Richard Hart himself or not, somebody that owns those addresses are pumping funds directly into Richard Hart tokens. So, and that's amazing for Spark, again, because of our deep liquidity with Pulse. Again, Pulse and Spark LP, we are essentially liquidity bonded, and so as Pulse goes up, it also brings the price of Spark up with it. So, LA, pretty amazing stuff, right? Happening right before our eyes.
Yes, definitely. Very interesting. It's awesome to watch, and we've been waiting for a long time for all of this to happen. So
100%.
for the that have been patient, we're finally being rewarded.
Yeah, no doubt. So, and I think it is just the beginning. Obviously after the sacrifice, I'm sorry, after the SEC case about the sacrifice, once that's finally behind us, or whether it's settled, or even just a fine that's paid and we can move on, both of those outcomes are bullish for all Pulse as a whole. So. We're primed. We're in such a great spot on all fronts. We just gotta sit back and enjoy what's happening, and again, it was, have fun while we're along for the ride. So, all right, LA. We also had I was on an AMA just before this AMA with the LitTank. Again, Lit. My life is awesome. Really great guy. I know both of us have talked to him, LA. And he is super bullish not only on Spark, but the vaults as well. So I think we're gonna have a follow-up interview about the vaults specifically. But yeah, I don't know. LA, did you have a chance to jump on the AMA? I know you were busy today, but
Yeah, this one was a really long time in the making. We were kind of working on getting on this for 2 or 3 months, so really pumped that it finally happened today, and I'm sure it's actually the first of a few to come on his channel. So really good stuff.
yeah, no doubt. And for those that know, he is one of the original Pulse Chain influencers. He, again, 2 years ago was sacrificed. He had a huge channel, got into some personal issues, left for a while. People thought he gave up on Pulse, but he's more bullish than ever on Pulse, and just had to deal with his, family. And now he's back, and we have a lot in common, and I think it's going to be a great relationship moving forward, and again, hopefully highlighting all that Spark and Sparkswap does. So another incredible interview was with the one and only Captain RG3. We had a chatting with the captain last Monday, or this past Monday after the AMA. It was a late one for me, but well worth it. And my God, what an amazing guy. We really did a deep dive into more of my personal background, why I got involved in crypto, what crypto means to me. It was a really, really great interview, especially the first half was a lot less about Spark. And again, those that don't know, Captain RG3, he had a premier spot in the highest of stakes, the documentary that they did on Richard Hart. And he, again, is one of the pillars of the Hex community. And we had an incredible talk. So, yeah, LA, how did that one go?
Sorry, I totally just took a bite of something. Give me one
Oh
second.
man, I'm kind of striking out today. I'm always calling on you when you're preoccupied.
I was gonna say, pillars. You led us into the perfect segue, but
Yeah,
let me answer your first question. That was really good. He asked some really original questions that not many people take the time to ask, and I really, really enjoyed that one. He actually even like pried some personal stuff out of you that I haven't heard you talk about in a long time.
for
Like,
sure.
and he really cared about getting to know you. So he just seemed like a really great guy. I think that we'll definitely need to do 2 or 3 more with him because we didn't get a chance to dive into specifics too much. But I could tell he really liked you and us, like the protocol. So I think that a great relationship was formed there.
Yeah, no doubt. I couldn't agree more. And thank you all that showed up. Again, I know it was a little bit of a later, AMA than our typical ones, but and if you haven't, please go watch the recordings. We have all the links in our socials, and leave a comment. Again, try to watch it all, even if you only get through half of them. Please, it really helps our engagement, and it shows that these guys, that are taking time to interview me and cover Sparkswap, it shows that we are a very strong community, and the actions do speak louder than words. Again, we can get on an AMA, we can say, we have the best community, we have all, no exploits, a very amazing track record. But if the community backs up all those statements, then it's even more powerful. So yeah, please again, do what you can to support all those AMAs, and like I said, a perfect segue, and the pillars of Pulse. Well, we're going through the pillars group tomorrow. So the pillars are it's an amazing DeFi group run by the one and only Mad Hatter and David as well. A great community. They have been again a pillar in DeFi. Their name is very fitting, and they have gone above and beyond showing support for not only EMP but Sparkswap and a few other very proven DeFi protocols. Again, you don't just get coverage from the pillars without the due diligence that they do. Mad Hatter is literally one of the most in-depth hosts I've ever met in my life. The guy, does his research to the 10th degree, and always is willing to ask the hard questions as well. So, we have a walkthrough tomorrow about the vaults, right, LA?
Yeah, so Jake from DexFi is going to be joining AJ, and we're going to have a awesome AMA over there. We're going to deep dive into the vaults. So if you've been wanting to ask any questions about the vaults, or if you want to understand them at a deeper level, or if you're just bullish on Sparkswap and want to support, definitely join us. It is going to be at 5 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. I'll definitely make a post in the group as well that
Great.
you have all the links.
Yeah, no doubt. And they are mainly focused on Discord, but they are now live streaming to YouTube as well. So we'll have all the links for you. But yeah, please consider joining the pillars as well. There's a ton of great info in there, and again, it's a great group of individuals that really care about DeFi. So all right, the other major or even more major updates is our volume and the total TVL in the vaults. Again, on Monday, we rolled out a brand new incentivized vault program that gives even more added injections of Pulse into the rewards for Pulse X farms. So we highlighted 3 of those farms, or vaults rather, that utilize the farms. And I mean, we had some insane APY on those, and obviously the more people in the pools, the lower that APY goes. It's still, no matter what, the APY is still higher than if you would be in PulseX alone, um, without the auto compounding. But we had again about $500,000 enter all of those farms over the last few days. So the APY is not as juicy as it was, but nonetheless it is still incredibly powerful. Even if you get in now, again, all of those Pulse X vaults are really helpful to Spark, because not only is it more TVL, more potential arbitrage, but also the reward token that you're earning is ink, and all of those have the ETFs that have Spark in the ETF. So a part of that ink reward is used to buy Spark. And again, even if you're not bullish on Spark, maybe you're a PulseX Maxi, that's fine, because you can just burn your ETF and get whatever token you want, Pulse, more ink, whatever is supported. And by doing that, that's more volume for us. So it's literally a win-win no matter how you look at it. And it's really important that we get this in front of the PulseX community because it is a value add for them. And that was really part of the conversation today with Lit and the LitTank was that this is a product for PulseX. Again, we're not a competing DEX. Yes, we are, hoping to get more market share, but we also have incredible product market fit for Pulse as a whole. And we really need to get the word out on that because it's again a no-brainer. If all the farm volume from Pulse X moved over to the vaults, I mean, we could just see the benefits just off the Richter scale for us. So and even now, what 2.5 million in the total in the vaults already, LA? Pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy. And you can see that on the DEX volume, it's been so consistent, and that's having an immediate effect on that.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, we've been at what, a million a day for the last few days now, and it's been much more consistent on the DEX volume, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. We're at 1.1 right now.
Awesome. So yeah, again, the all the metrics are looking great and really coming together. So, all right, you want to talk about the last point on Sparkswap, the bridge, and then we'll move on to the next thing. Go ahead, LA.
Yes. So if you have noticed that bridging takes a little bit longer today, just keep in mind that Pulse Chain has just been incredibly busy today. And on days when people are going nuts, apeshit bananas, doing a lot of activity on the chain, bridging sometimes can occasionally just take a little bit longer. And I think we all get super spoiled because usually the bridge takes 1 to 2 minutes at most. So when it's taking 30, 35 minutes, sometimes people freak out and wonder if their transactions not going through. But just if you can practice a little bit of patience, if it has been over an hour, definitely reach out to us and we'll be happy to look into it for you. But it has been taking a little bit longer than usual today. And that is definitely just due to the network activity being extremely busy on Pulse Chain with everything just going crazy with what we spoke about at the beginning of the stream.
Yeah, no, 100%. And again, we did actually take the bridge down for a few hours today to do some routine maintenance. Everything's working as it should be. Everything is again 100% tip top. But again, we can't control the the volume and therefore the nodes and getting congested in terms of the RPCs and transactions going through that way. But again, all that being said, we get a little bit spoiled because, the main Ethereum bridge can take literally hours. So, rather than waiting 2 or 3 minutes, like usual, you may have to wait 10. But still, in the grand scheme of things, it's pretty amazing. And bridge volume has been off the chain as well. We're doing well over 400 transactions a day, and multiple thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, or it is hundreds of thousands of volume a day now on the bridge. So yeah, sorry, go ahead, LA. Do you want to add to that?
No, it's just it's amazing when everything works out exactly as we said it would,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, no, totally. A little feather in our cap. Again, we say what we do and we do what we say. I mean, that is how we operate. And again, I think people are finally starting to realize that don't know us, and those that do know us have always believed that. So yeah, everything's coming together. Again, please just help us continue to spread the word about the bridge. And one more bit of housekeeping about the bridge. Um, just so everybody knows, the best assets to bridge. Again, we support all assets, and you can not only bridge but also swap into Pulse from our bridge if you're new to Pulse Chain. But if you're looking to maximize or rather minimize your costs in bridging, please make sure that you're bridging from BNB, you're bridging in DAI, and from Arbitrum, you're bridging in US DEX. So those are the two, again, because they're a stable token and they have the most liquidity, you won't be hit as hard with slippage and again price fluctuation from the time it takes the bridge to complete. So I just want to reiterate that. I know, sometimes there is a bit higher price impact, but that's just something that you have to know as a user and what you're using. And again, if you're bridging into Pulse token, that is subject to an additional swap fee because the bridge has to swap whatever token you're moving over into Pulse. So, it is a little bit more expensive that way, but once you have gas on Pulse, then you're good to go. And again, it's all relative. I mean, I'm happy to pay, the fees and the slippage just because of the convenience that the bridge offers. So, yeah, again, LA, I just want to mention that. I know we've seen some chatter of that. You want to add anything to that just so people know?
Well, just even no matter whether you're on Sparkswap or any protocol,
For sure.
on days of the day when gas is just super spiked, you might just have to up the gas on your transactions to get them to go through. I had to do that on my transactions today. You might just have to do the aggressive gas option to get transactions to go through if you don't want to wait for a while to get them to go through. So
Totally.
it's just up to you how patient you are.
All right, awesome. All right, anything else on SparkSwap before we move on to EMP?
I think that's it for now.
All right, perfect. So again, EMP is moving right along. Not only with Fusion, but even just EMP tokens in general, with the pump in ETH, and a lot of people starting to continue to DCA, knowing that we're getting closer and closer for Fusion. PEG has been up. The price of EMP has been up. eShare again. eShare is very volatile but it's still, going in the right direction. And with BNB pumping as well, you get exposure to BNB through eShare. BNB is now up over $400 again. So everything's looking really good on that front. We did get an update on Sentinels. The migration is really, really close. So Jake, our lead developer, our original lead developer, again, we call him Chad because there's too many Jakes around. It gets confusing. But he has, basically finished the code, and now we just have to migrate to be able to start rewarding Sentinels in the proper LP now that MDB is no longer a protocol. So hopefully, in the next few days, we'll have an update for everybody on that. And we're making headway still with Fusion. I think even today we had one more update on the audit that we submitted. So I think the audit is pretty much almost done, and then we'll be able to see what issues there are, what we need to fix, and then again, knowing that, we'll have a much more clear idea on an actual launch date. So we're just waiting for more details from the development team before we announce anything prematurely. So, Elliot, anything you want to add to that?
No, I did think of one more thing I wanted to add to Sparkswap though.
Oh, all right. Yeah, you can jump back over there, and then I'll let you take it as well because we also want to talk about the EMP newsletter. So, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I did want to say that obviously you guys noticed that we did pause the bridge for a bit today, and I just wanted to say that if you occasionally see us like once a month or so do a pause on the bridge, often the reason for that is because we want to do like really thorough security checks and stuff like that, especially at times when the network activity is really, really ramped up, because those are the times when you could potentially have more issues arise. So we paused the bridge for a little while today to do some maintenance and security checks just to make sure we're just as bulletproof as we've always been, and everything is looking great. So we just wanted to kind of report that to you guys as well. I don't know if you have anything to add to that, AJ, but it was down for about an hour or so. So
Yeah,
it is up and running, and everything is looking great.
yeah, no doubt. I mentioned it a little bit. I guess I must have been talking fast. But yeah, I mentioned that a little bit earlier. But yeah, 100%. We're good to go. Everything checked out. You know, again, it doesn't mean that there's any issues. We try to be as proactive as possible. And you know, we would never. One last thing with that, we would never shut the bridge down. And have you have a stuck transaction because of that. So we always pause the front end before you know the actual contracts. So if for whatever reason you did initiate a bridge and then all of a sudden you see that we took the bridge down for maintenance or whatever the issue might be, those funds are always going to be SAFU. I mean, unless we had a catastrophic hack, which again we don't plan on, we've done everything to protect the bridge. And again, there's never been an issue, even when people have transactions that take longer than an hour, it's either automatically refunded or we're able to initiate a refund through the bridge. So yeah, absolutely, great points, LA. All right, and then yeah, do you want to talk about the signups too? I know that's your baby or your department. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a brand new sign up page for our EMP news email updates. So I will post the link in the chats. And if you are not already currently on our list and receiving emails and you'd like to, you can just click on the link and just throw in your information there. And then when we have email updates for news, alpha, or our educational series that we put out sometimes for Sparkswap or EMP, we will then start sending them to you through email.
Awesome. Yeah, you did a great job with that, LA. Again, we're trying to resurrect our newsletter and email campaign. We have been active, but we were super active when we were getting everybody onboarded through our EMP Academy. So if you already signed up on that, like LA said, you don't have to sign up again. But if you're not part of the email list or want to have direct communication, through email, that is a great option for people. And moving forward, especially with Fusion, we are planning to resurrect our academy. That will, we already have some great videos LA did that are explainer videos about Fusion. We'll have even more about how to get involved in Fusion. And the email is the perfect way to make sure that you don't miss any of those updates for sure. So, all right, awesome. All right. Anything else you want to add about EMP, LA?
No, that's all for now.
All right. Awesome. Well, again, we moved through pretty quick today. Do we have some questions that you have, LA, or if there's anybody in the live chat that would like to ask a question, please feel free, and we can go over it.
There weren't any on Discord. Let's see.
All right, that's a good sign. We've been good about communicating then. I know, it sounds like typically when we don't have a lot of questions, it means we've covered a lot of info in the last few weeks. So
I did see one on Discord that wasn't in the Discord section that I thought would be good for you to go over because it's been a while since anyone's asked it. Maybe
okay,
you could go over it.
yeah, 100%.
It was will PEG matter when Fusion launches?
Yes, absolutely. So I love this. And yeah, the short answer is yes. I mean, we definitely, and again, I say yes, but we want people to have the exposure to Ethereum no matter what. So in that regard, PEG absolutely matters. And for those of you that are coming into Fusion that aren't here now, then yes, PEG absolutely matters because they're gonna have to buy fresh EMP to get involved in Fusion. Again, whether it's through sacrifice or not, or just speculating on the price of EMP just buying it. Um, but remember, there is no more yield associated with just holding the EMP token. So that is the other side of the coin where peg doesn't really matter in that regards because again, in the original protocol, you if we were above peg, then that is how you earned in the boardroom. Well, again, that whole tomb seigniorage mechanism is being eliminated so that we, don't have people dumping on our heads. We have a much more sustainable protocol. We are able to really keep the peg and the price of EMP very healthy and much more steady. And then the real yield comes from, again, Fusion as a protocol. So you will sacrifice your EMP into Fusion. You will get an NFT called your microgrid that represents your ownership of the central grid, which again is essentially your ownership of the entire platform. And depending on the size of your NFT, and your ownership, that will determine the amount of rewards that you're paid out every day. So that's Fusion in a nutshell. But yeah, you want to add to that, LA?
No, I think you kind of hit it on the head there.
Okay, awesome. Well, and again, the idea is that you're able to buy EMP right now way under peg, and realize the gains back to peg, and we have a very clear plan to get to peg. So again, reducing liquidity, using treasury and sacrifice funds to help peg recover. We feel like it's not a matter of if we're going to recover peg, but when we're going to recover peg. So, yeah. All right. I think that covers
Yes,
peg.
said that right.
Okay, yeah.
I believe Vino wants to say something.
All right. Vino, what's up, brother?
Yo, yo, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. How are you, man?
I'm doing well. Just kind of laying low and just enjoying the pumps in both Sparkswap, Pulse Chain, and the EMP ecosystem. So,
Yeah.
I can't really complain too much.
I love it, man. Yeah, man. Your bags have been packed. So Vino is just along for the ride. Again, great pillar, again, to use that word, pillar of our community and OG. So, yeah, and we have a lot in the works, Vino. I know, again, not to drop too much alpha, but we have some other projects that we're hoping to bring to life that Vino's been involved in. So, yeah, lots coming out. But, yeah, go ahead, brother. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah. So first and foremost, I've here lately I've been working on a couple auto vault videos, and I sent one to LA just as a review thing. None of them are published yet, but I'm going to be finishing up the overview video either tomorrow or Saturday, and then just
Awesome.
publish all of them, and then they'll be released. So kind of like a TLDR, how the ETFs work, how to create an infinite money loop, as well as how the auto vaults actually work. But I did have a question for you in regards to the auto vaults, and I'm pretty sure the answer is going to be on every compound, but I want to ask it just to make sure before I make the video.
For sure.
Whenever you create the vault, and you can create one vault with up to 10 different LPs in them, weighted proportionately, however you depend on, what you want to input in them. Whenever those rebalance, is that on every compound whenever the rewards are harvested and then put back in the LPs, or is it like a once per day kind of thing?
Yes, no, that's a great question. So what Vino is referring to, again, just to put some more context, you will actually see two numbers in the farms, the farm allocation in the vault. So the first number is what the allocation is set to be. So like for instance, if you had 3 farms and you did it equally weighted, each of those farms would be 33%, and one would be 34%. And then there's another number next to that that may be, quite a bit lower, up to maybe 5 or 8 points, depending on the price. And so what happens is whenever there's a harvest or compound, those rewards, they're actually applied to whatever LP in that farm or vault rather is the lowest. So again, does that help answer your question, it's about basically DCAing into whatever LP is the lowest out of that current vault.
Yeah, because it's an auto balance. It's basically a balancer auto compounder.
Exactly.
So I just wanted to make sure it was on every harvest because I honestly I just wasn't too sure. And I was looking at a vault that I made earlier, and one of the assets is Ink and PulseX, and it's at 40% right now, and it's supposed to be at 33%.
Yeah, brother. So yeah, 100%. So again, what Vienna was saying is yes, the idea is that the vaults themselves are also auto balancing between them, but it's very difficult to automatically auto balance actual LPs. So you're not actually having impermanent loss from auto balancing the LPs. What happens is, again, like I said, once the harvest happens, the rewards are given to whatever LP is the lowest in price. And again, like Vino just said, when the others are pumping, that allows you to basically DCA into the bottom of the others. And that's why it's able to outperform, traditional auto compounders by, 5-6%. So super, super powerful.
Hell yeah, that's all I had, man. I'm looking forward to the future here. I'm looking forward to the project that I'm kind of working with behind the scenes. Just honestly, shout out shout out LA, shout out the development team over at Dex Finance, our development team here. I think that things are just up and to the right from here on out. There might be a couple speed bumps with the prices, but shit's starting to look really fucking good.
I love it. Yes, sir. Absolutely, And again, we didn't even talk about it. I know you're the Sparkler King. Sparkler payouts have been super juicy today as well. I try not to say it on every AMA that we do, but it's just been that way. I can't not say what's actually happening. So yeah, again, if you're not in Sparkler, and I'm sure you can demonstrate all the benefits of Sparkler in
yes.
In the group chat, right? Yeah.
I'll go ahead and say it. It's fucking bullish. I mean, you can't beat what the Sparkler offers. It's literally a miniature version of Fusion, and I know you've said that all the time, but that's honestly true because it's based off of real yield, and whenever those payouts hit, they're fucking huge. That's 2 F-bombs tonight. So shout out that. But
yes,
yeah,
we judge our bullishness of our AMAs by how many F-bombs. So yeah, go ahead, man.
if you're bullish on Sparkswap, or if you're bullish on EMP Fusion, or just generalized real yield, that's kind of what you need to be looking for now and in the future. But as things progress throughout this bull run, prices go up. That's also meaning more revenue for EMP Fusion and Sparkswap. There's no reason, in my opinion, financial or not, to not create a position in either one of those two revenue streams, because the sky's the limit, and as adoption grows, it's just more and more fees compounded on top of an increasing price in the underlying assets.
I love it. Absolutely, brother. Well, again, I appreciate all your hard work. Thank you for creating some of those videos. Thank you for helping to educate the community. And again, if any of you have any questions, I mean, people have been going crazy in the Telegram lately. I saw a spreadsheet with again, I forget who posted it. Forgive me for not giving credit where credit is due. But there was an incredible spreadsheet that logged all the Sparkle payouts over the last 3 months. So again, there's a ton of data that actually.
I got you real quick on this one.
Yes, please, bro.
His username is Obey, and I reached out to him, and he's got a 105 days. He was getting, on average, it was 107,000 pulse per day, and the equivalent in Spark LPs as well. Those are, I think, a couple weeks old now. But he was getting that, and he's got 1% pool share. And if you do the math on that with current prices, you're looking at a pretty penny. I won't take him any more time, but his name's Obey, and he's keeping track of it. And shout out to him and everybody else in the Sparkswap and the EMP chat that are using the report function to keep our community safe as well.
Amazing. Yes, 100%, Vino. Thank you for jumping on. And yeah, thank you, Obey. Again, anybody in the community that puts in the extra effort, let us know. I mean, we always keep our eye out, but I'd love to be promoting those that are really here adding value to the community. And yeah, that spreadsheet was super powerful. And again, he's just one of many. There are many guys and gals that are always willing to share their experience, and don't take our word for it. Just look at the numbers. Again, that's the beauty of the blockchain. So, and yeah, I mean, to Vino's point, not financial advice, but the payouts in Sparkler, even with dilution of more and more people getting into Sparkler, the idea is that we're able to outpace that just from the volume increase. And again, I mean, we're set up so incredibly well as literally the number 2 DEX on all the Pulse that when we see a 10x in price and adoption, that could easily translate to a 10x in volume for the DEX as well. So, all right, awesome. Great, that was perfect. A good little discussion. LA, any other questions or comments you want to add to that? Go ahead.
I don't see any, no.
Okay. All right. Well, on that note, I think we're going to wrap it up. Again, LA, you want to have a final word or any last minute info for the people?
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And thank you to all of you who add so much to our community. We love you guys. And we will see you again on Monday.
All
And
right.
join us for tomorrow's AMA in the Pillars.
Perfect. I love it. Yes, we have one more AMA tomorrow, and we will be back on Monday with our regularly scheduled AMA. Again, we come to you every Monday and Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. And yeah, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe as we wrap it up and get ready for another hopefully incredible week ahead. Not only for Spark but for Pulse Chain as a whole, and hopefully some other updates with Fusion as we get closer and closer. So, all right. Good night. Good day. We'll see you on Monday.